Hi, guys. Let's define motivation together, and we are going to take this from some history. I came across some reading of a man by the name of Hernan Cortez. So this man is Spanish and is in some history somewhere. So he's born in Spain and then he moves to Cuba. But there in Cuba, he gains a leadership position. I think he became a captain. And he had the idea uh, of conquering Spain, uh, known at that time as Aztec. So, so there's a plan that they're going to conquer Spain under the leadership of Hernan Cortez. So they probably carry their boats and they reach into that land and they're trying to strategize and come up with ways on how they were going to overcome or conquer the land of Aztec. But one thing that Hernan Cortez or Mr. Cortez realized very quickly is that the area was uh, the word more like the man force was definitely much more than the force that they had carried, and he realized that his people were probably intimidated. Maybe their information, their spies, and the things that they had in place concerning the war did not really add up. So what Hernan Cortez did is he destroyed the bots that they had used as transportation from Cuba to the empire of Aztec. And now the warriors that were under Cortez were left with no option. They were left with no plan B. It was either to conquer, and that was the only plan on the table. Because now they had no transportation on how they were going to run back in case things did not work for them in the Empire of Aztec. And it meant that if they were defeated, their wives probably will be taken away, resources, and probably the land of where they came from. So despite being outnumbered, Cortez realized that for us to overcome and conquer the land of Aztec, we have to remove every other plans. So at the beginning of this clip, I mentioned to say, let us redefine motivation. Obviously, motivation can be defined differently by many experts. And one of the definitions I think that stands out with motivation is that motivation is the driving force or the power to do something, a driving force to overcome something. That's one of the definitions. They definitely like so many other definitions that you can come up with. But today, maybe we can come up with our own definition, and we can define motivation as the removal of plan B and to only have an implementation of plan A. I think people that have realized this, even I haven't really realized it, hadn't really realized it earlier. But people that have realized that what I have on my table, the thing I have set for me, the plan A I have set for me, is the only plan for me. There is no other way. And that is the reason why you have some people not concentrating on their career because they know that they have a plan B of running back maybe to their parents who have maybe a thriving business and they can tap off into that business or they could be employed into that business. They are thinking there is plan B. So they even if plan A does not work, I have these bots that I can get on to go back to Cuba. But if we redefine motivation and say, look, what I have on the table is plan A, and it has to be plan A and only plan A and nothing else. So, um, um, Henan has been known and is profound in history for coming up with that strategy. They conquered the emperor of Aztec. And I think we can conquer the emperor of our lives when we remove plan B and only carry plan A. When you only carry plan A in, let's say, your career, and you're thinking, I just have to get this qualification. When you or overcome plan B and you're thinking, my business just has to work. When you overcome plan B and you're thinking, my family just has to work. I have no other um, I have no other option to fall on. I have no other place to fall on. And the only place that I have to fall on, the only place that I have to implement will have to be plan A and not plan B. So, together, we can redefine the definition of motivation as holding on to plan A, striving with plan A, and making it work no matter the hardship, no matter how much you have been outnumbered, no matter how much you want to give up. And I think this can be applied in different sectors of life. This can be applied in sport, this can be applied in career, this can be applied in different avenues of life. This can be applied if you want to kind of like implement something new in your lifestyle. This can be implemented. Plan A is all I have on the table, and there is no plan B, and plan A just has to work. So our redefinition of motivation is that it is plan A and plan A only.